Today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about the apps that I use on my phone on a daily to weekly basis. I feel like we're all on our phones nowadays. There's certain things I do from a computer, but the majority of what I do daily or to spend my time on is apps on my phone. I feel like lately there's been a lot of talk going on about apps and TikTok and kind of the whole possibility of the ban of that, whether they get purchased. Whatever side you fall on about this whole thing, either way, we all are on our phones and apps on a regular basis. And I'm always curious as to what people use on a regular basis, what helps them out, ways that they kind of use an app. So I thought this is a perfect time of year to sit down and talk you guys through my apps and what I use. So let's start in. I will say this, the first thing I do every morning when I wake up is use the Aura app. And the Aura app is the app that is attached to my ring that I wear on a daily basis. I charge this, I would say, every 7 days. It tracks my sleep patterns, it tracks my steps, it tracks my health and just kind of where my body internally is at. I remember when I had a cold in January and my literal app, when I turned on in the morning, was like, something is wrong with your body. You need to rest today. Don't worry about your steps. And that's the first time in over almost a year and a half of wearing this that has ever happened. And it was right. The next app I tend to log into personally tends to be Instagram. I go onto Instagram. I kind of start with stories. I don't know about you guys or where you start. I start with stories and kind of go through stories and look at what everybody has going on. I feel like stories are more in the moment, whereas reels and things like that, photos, are a little bit more curated or take a little bit more time. So I like to see the stories better. So I do go into Instagram as pretty much my second app I open up. The next app I tend to go into is my podcast app. It's just the app that comes with the iPhone, and I check to see what new podcasts are out so that when I do go for my walk during the day, I know what I have coming up, and I kind of set them in order of what I want to listen to in what order while I'm walking, so I don't have to stop, pull my phone out, and take a look at what's next. And then before I go, typically on my walks, I will eat my breakfast. And when I do this, I have been logging. I used MyFitnessPal for years and years and years. And it was just always so tedious. And this year, I want to say it was back in October or November, I found an app called My Parrot Pal, or it may just be called Parrot Pal. I might be thinking MyFitnessPal with the My in front of it. It may be called My Parrot Pal. And it is an AI generated one, and its main focus are your steps, your protein, and your calories for the day. That is your focus. And it does also have a daily podcast that I subscribe to that are in my podcast. But in case I miss it, it does show up there as well. I do go in to log my weight because it is AI generated. So you need to weigh in about 3 to 5 days a week so that it can take an average of your week over the time period and give you suggestions every week on Sunday. However, when I'm eating, I can simply say to the app what I'm eating, or I can save items, or I can take a photo of it and adjust it from there. This app has been game changing for me within the last 3 months. I love it so much, and the podcasts are so good. Since we're talking about My Parrot Pal and eating, another app that I use on a regular basis, I would say more weekly, I usually check in on a Wednesday with this app, is the HelloFresh app. I use this app in order to get meal ideas for us for the next week. My orders always, I have to have them in by Thursday to decide if I want a shipment for the next week or not. Choose my meals. I go through and kind of select which ones best suit our family's meals. I do have 3 or 4 meals a week delivered. My delivery shows up on a Tuesday, and it has everything, guys. This has made my tracking, because I can just take a picture with My Parrot Pal of the recipe from HelloFresh, and it tells me exactly the breakdown of one serving of whatever the meal is. Now, HelloFresh is not just for those of you like me that love to cook. I love to cook. They also now have prep and bake meals, which only take about 5 minutes of prep, and you're just gonna toss them in and you bake them in the oven, and then it's little to no cleanup. They now have ready meals, which essentially have everything already put together in them. Then you simply cook them and they take 3 minutes and they're ready for you to have a full meal. They also have what is called 15-minute meals, which is generally 3 steps, 3 easy steps, and then you can bake it and they're ready in 15 minutes. Then they also have 15 20-minute meals, which are for your quicker, easier ones. Now, I personally order a wide selection of these different things because I like to have things for those nights where we need something that's quick and easy, when we are going to a sporting event or we just have something going on, to some nights I really like those recipes that I just follow step by step and make it myself. But that way I don't have to go to the grocery store. The cost is so much less when I am ordering these meals than when I go to the grocery store and buy everything I need. Because when you're buying everything you need, you're buying a bunch of cilantro that's like this, and you really only need like 4 or 5 stalks. Or you might be buying way more chicken than you need. It is just game changing. When I first suggested this to Marty many, many years ago, I had been using HelloFresh for, gosh, it was well before COVID. I'd say 2 years before COVID, I started using it. And Marty was like, this is just a gimmick. It's going to be such a waste of money. And now when I don't order it, he's like, we have to come up with ideas for dinner and we have to go get the groceries and it costs more. Game changing. Plus, HelloFresh was kind enough to provide me with a discount code. If you are a new subscriber and you use the code LisaFM, you will get up to 10 meals for free and your first box ships free. Now, just as a heads up, the free meals are applied as a discount on the very first box, and this is just for new subscribers, and it varies by plan. But if you are interested, definitely check that out. As I mentioned, I have been a long time user of HelloFresh for many, many, many years. Another couple apps that I use on a regular basis is I do like Pinterest. I'm getting used to going back onto it. I was talking to someone recently that was saying to me, how is it possible on Pinterest to kind of like get rid of, if any of you know this would be great, the older posts? Because when you type in something like how to style winter boots, sometimes it pulls older posts that did really well for them, yet it's not something that's necessarily in style now. So I'm kind of still back on the Pinterest train, but I'm struggling with it just a little bit. Next up is the Like to Know It app. I am on it in kind of 2 different formats because I have the creator side, and then also I, just like you guys, am on more of the consumer side as well. I go on to that to look for what's like on sale that I had saved through the app, or an item that I really loved. Maybe it's back in stock. So I do check that daily as well. And I really like that I can see, it's kind of like the old Instagram. You remember when Instagram used to be in chronological order? The Like to Know It app is in that order. And I just like it better. I like that there's not as much interaction. You can on there, but it's not as much pressure to like make sure you like someone's something or whatever have you. So I've really been spending more time on that app so far this year. I do also go onto the YouTube app, which is the one that, just like you guys might be watching this on an app or a computer, I do like to check out the app, see what the people that I subscribe to and follow are up to, what's new, see if I get any new ideas, see if I just some people I enjoy watching and listening to. So I check that app out. Then I also have the YouTube TV. That is our streaming service. You can use Hulu, you can use, there's so many nowadays. Back in the day when we first got through with them, we went with YouTube TV. We've been happy with it for many years and we like it. So that is what I use, and I tend to go on. I don't sit down and watch TV a lot until nighttime. So I'll click on it to see what new shows came out last night, just so I have an idea of what's coming up and what I might want to sit down and watch. Now, I do also go on TikTok, but I'm going to be honest with you. I am more of a Instagram, YouTube, like to know it girl. TikTok's fine, but it's just, I will go down a rabbit hole of mindless scrolling, and I just don't love it. So I don't spend as much time on there. Another app I use daily is the What's app, I think it's called. I have a girlfriend that she and I kind of hold each other accountable. We're accountability to each other for kind of our steps, our workout, just daily anything. And we video chat on there. We used Snapchat for a while, but that got annoying because it wouldn't play the next video. Then we went to WhatsApp, which is great, but it downloads to my camera roll. So then every night I have to go in and delete it off my camera roll. So if you guys know a better way to kind of video chat with someone, I'd love to hear any suggestions. I do use an app called the Shopping List app, I think it's called. I have this and use it daily for, it's kind of like Notes. You know the Notes app that comes on an iPhone? This is similar, but you can put in the aisles it is in the grocery store. So like produce, poultry, frozen food, health and beauty, whatever have you. I love having this on my phone. I know I tried using the whole Alexa thing because we have one of those in the kitchen, and that was a little bit too difficult. This one, I just love it. It is there. If anybody says, oh, can you grab me this the next time you're at the store? I put it in the list. If Marty's at the store and he's like, what do we need? I just screenshot it and send it to him. I have used this, gosh, I've used this for so many years. I think I actually started using this right when I went to my first iPhone, to give you an idea, but it is so easy. I do love the Notes app, but I love the Notes app more for lists or reminders when I go places. I like this more for my shopping lists. Now, as far as you guys may or may not find this part interesting, these are apps that I use kind of for either creating my reels, for editing some photos, or anything kind of on the creator side of what I do. The first one that I use a lot for reels is called CapCut. I've used InShot. There's another one I used too that I didn't love. CapCut, I do have the pro version of it because I find it has more fonts and more options. You don't need it. But CapCut for me has been the easiest one to use. I just like it the best. And it is what I edit all of my reels in. I do also use Lightroom, but I use that more for photos, just to get the photos for as true of color as I possibly can to the outfit that you're seeing or the item that you're seeing. I don't like seeing photos that are too dark where I can't see an image properly or it's not portraying the proper color. So I do like to use this so that the photos at least are the best color they can be. Now in the CapCut, you can adjust the colors, but I have to be very careful with that one because I don't love using filters. I use it more for color adjustment. So I do have both of those. I can edit in Lightroom for videos, but I can't edit the video down. So I just like to do it all in one in CapCut, and I've found ways to make that work for me. I do also use the Canva app. I have PicMonkey and Canva. Of the two, I prefer Canva. It's easier to maneuver in. It's more, as far as an app, it is more user-friendly. I do like PicMonkey, or I used to like PicMonkey more on a computer, but as far as an app, Canva surpasses PicMonkey by far. And Canva is where you'll see things like my top 5 sellers of the week, that video clip for the week of whatever the video is that went up, and I put that over on my Instagram. There's a lot of different things I use it for. The thumbnails you're seeing for these videos, it's just really, really nice, easy, simple to use. Some other random apps that I use that are more kind of, let's say, lifestyle is I use an app called Life 360. MJ, Marty, and I all have it. We can see each other's location. I know when MJ gets to school, when he gets home, it notifies me. I will say I turned off the notifications for Marty because every time he left the house for a car ride, for a coffee, whatever, it was notifying me. And I was like, I don't need to know this. So his notifications are off. The only notifications I have on are MJ's, but MJ also has the ability to see us. He can send us a message if something's wrong. It's actually kind of cool when he does ski club on Fridays. I can actually see him skiing. It's actually a really great app. I have the free version. You can do the paid version and it gives you more locations so you can see when someone arrives there. but what I have has been working for us. I also use the Ring doorbell one. We have a doorbell on the front door and the back door, and then one on our back kind of patio door. Mostly because when we're not here for a few months, it's nice to be able to see all areas of that. And then at the other house, we have quite a few at that house because we're not at that house as often. We have one on the backyard. We have one on the inside on the back door. We have one in the living room. We have one on the front door. We have one on the garage that also has a spotlight, like a motion sensor one. I can see and have access to all of those. I also see, I have my mom's on there as well, and I have her notifications off. However, same thing. If she ever had something happen or needed something, or if she wasn't answering her phone, I've had this happen. If she hasn't answered, I can go into her camera and make sure she's okay, see if her car is at home, see when she came in last. It's just a nice safety feature since she lives alone. Talking about household kind of apps, this next one is a little bit of a shopping app, a little bit of a household app, and it's the Pura app. And these are air fresheners or plug-in diffusers that you have around the house. I have them at both houses. I have scents inside of them. I can control a schedule. I can control how much scent. I also have them set up so when we are away from the home, meaning if I'm off of the Wi-Fi on the Cape house, it turns them off so they're not running when we're not there. And then same thing when we're gone from this house. If I leave, it turns them off, which kind of keeps the scent lasting a little bit longer. And I also have a subscription where that is sent to me every single month with refills on that. I can change the scents whenever I want. And the last two apps are my most used shopping apps. And I would say those two apps are Amazon. I'm always on Amazon. MJ's on Amazon. Marty's on Amazon. We always need something from Amazon, right? And the Nordstrom app. 80% of what I purchase through Nordstrom just because their customer service is hands down amazing. And the fact that if I get something in and I don't end up wearing it and I change my mind on it, I can send it back. They don't give me a hard time about it. It is just one of my favorite places to shop. I absolutely love it. It is just one of my favorite apps to use. So those are all of the apps that I have been using as of recently and probably longer than a year. If any of these are new to you and you found a new kind of app to use, let me know down below. And if you have any questions on any of the apps I use or how I use them, please make sure to leave me a question down below. I'll try and help you as much as I can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a great weekend.